how it is. I don't need to moderate much. People, this is a service, a public service announcement. Okay, so there was a song, I don't know if you're aware of it, that went, no parking, baby, no parking on the dance floor, right? Now check this out. No smoking, baby. No smoking on the fuel aisle. Now I'm gonna tell you why. Okay, so check this out. Normally, I would say, because people have done tests on diesel fuel, it used to be a lot more flammable, and now you could drop a cigarette in it and it would put it out if you did it as a test in certain circumstances, la 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 la. But here's the problem. Okay, when you are running a diesel truck, you're pumping more fuel into your tanks than you're actually using. That means that diesel fuel is hot. So it's already hot, and it lets off vapors. Then on top of that, okay, which it actually has more power if you combust it as cold. So cold air intake is better for, all engines. It explodes more. Okay, it expands more, but it's more volatile, and the fumes come away from it, and it evaporates them fumes, and those fumes are flammable more than anything. So just understand what I'm saying. This is a no smoking section. The fuel aisle, for the benefit of everybody that wants to come and get fuel after you, because you ain't the only one on the planet out of 7.5 billion people. Other people need fuel. So respectfully, I ask that you don't burn down all of our fuel aisles. We have enough people with problems with the truck stops catching on fire from the Denny's and this and that. All right. So I'm gonna go back to this, and I'm not looking at comments. I'll catch them in a second. So if you've made a comment, I ain't caught it yet, but you're welcome to comment. I'll catch you in a second. I gotta show this view in the camera sideways because I'm showing this view. This is the fuel aisle at the TA, okay? Undisclosed location. I'll put it up later, doesn't matter. Just know they've been working on this thing for weeks, a good hot minute. Here's the story. You get the story from different places. You get a little bit from this guy, a little bit from that guy, a little bit. This is how it works. And I'm a trucker. I walk in there, they start talking to me and tell me what's up. Okay. The fuel aisle is down because there's a fire. Really? There was a fire? Oh, well, now I've seen them guys work on it, and they think, yeah, they work every day. They can't figure it out. There's a problem with the wiring now. Okay. It's not a union job where they take a break every 5 minutes, 50 minutes. That's my joke. My uncle was union. I'm going to have my fun. It's nothing wrong with you. I'm just saying. It's not that something's holding them up. There's no law says they can't legally work how many hours and they can't finish the job. This is difficult, people, because the whole thing caught on fire, the whole canopy caught on fire. So you find out there was a fire. And then another guy says, yeah, I watched it. He's a trucker. I'm like, really? He says, yeah. He's I run local. I watched it. I said, what happened? He says, well, he says, the whole thing, the truck and trailer and the whole load burned up. And the lady in there says, yeah, I saw it too. What? Get out. No, for real. So I'm getting like firsthand knowledge. So I figured I'd do a video on this, make a little public service announcement. Don't smoke on the fuel aisle. But here's what really happened. Dude had a whole load of what? What was he hauling? Of all things, a trailer load of cars. Not just any car. Let's go expensive. Check this out. Teslas is my understanding, because they were all electric. I believe they were Teslas. The lady said it had the symbol on the car, but they know they were electric. So a whole truckload of electric cars, and they said that the guy was smoking around the truck. I'm sure they're trying to figure out, what all was up with that, but he was smoking around the truck and while he's fueling, and then it just went up. Now, it could have been a short on one of the cars, it could have been whatever, but they said he was smoking. So I'm just gonna say this, I'm gonna put this out there. Because there's fumes that actually come out of your tank when you open the cap, because diesel is not all, different. There's different mixes of it. There's biodiesel. We got different blends. You're not running a scientific will it catch on fire test. Okay, let's not be scientists out here. Let's just be truck drivers and just don't do it. If you got to smoke in your truck. Leave your smoke in your truck. You know what I'm saying? Get out of your truck, fuel your truck. You should be fine like that. Because it's not a gas aisle, and even then gas fumes only stay a foot off the ground, because that's what gas does. Okay, that's why if you have a gas water heater in your garage, you're going to have a stopper that stops your car from going so far from hitting it, and you're also going to have, you know, to know that it's up on stilts. That's why they put water heaters on stilts anytime you're in a garage with a gas flame, so it doesn't ignite the fumes, because the fumes will stay about a foot off the ground, generally speaking, without a wind blowing. Now, wind blows like crazy here, you know. So that's why it can happen that fumes can come up above a foot, is because wind comes through. Let's not be scientists. Let's not try to do a scientific flame test and see if you can catch a place on it. It's been done. This guy tested it. The whole canopy's all smoked up black. And now there's people sleeping on the fuel aisle, which is nothing wrong with that because they need a place to park and we got no parking. But it'd be even better if they didn't have a place to park on the fuel aisle, but we did have fuel, because fuel is awesome and it keeps us going. So I'm just going to turn the camera now so I can see what's going on, what's popping, and you can see the rest of the fuel aisle. And that guy's parked there, the blue facing that way, because why? Because you can't get fuel anyhow. There's only like one working fuel pump, I think, or maybe there's none of them working. I think there's none of them working, is my understanding. So everybody catching on that rather than give us a place to sleep, okay, we don't need another place to sleep by burning down the fuel aisle. Just kind of leave it good for the next man. And God bless you for that, and I appreciate it. Everybody on the same page? So, and I'll check comments here in a second. I'm gonna have a hot dog and chill with you, but I want y'all to see, like I said, a good view so that y'all don't think that I was trying to not show you what really happened. See how it's smoked up and it's different? That's where he was parked, but the whole thing is shut down because the whole thing's burned up. And they've got, I mean, all the pumps were affected electronically. Somehow it just killed them all. These people over here working their best to try to fix it. They have been for days and days, and it's just not happening because it's just too hard of a job. Let's see if I can get this in. And I'm gonna give you a horrible view after this, and I apologize, but let's see if I can even do anything about that. Okay, that is the service truck. They've been working their butts off. They really have. But an electronic issue, anytime you got a short with electronics and wiring and trying to figure out which wire's bad and all this, or do you rewire the whole world? Man, look, that's a nightmare. Tracing down electronic faults, nobody wants to do that. Any mechanic will tell you, I'll tell you, if I got to fix something on a car, it's going to take me what it takes me to fix it. I make no promises that I can have somebody in and out of 30 minutes or whatever fixed, right? Okay, because electronics is a nightmare, but they've been working on it for a good hot minute, and that's the view you get, and it's fixed to be a little bit janky and different. All right, so everybody's on the same page that you really, okay, so now I'll be able to see comments. You can actually, let's see here, live chat. You can fuel and smoke at the same time. You might even live to tell about it, but it does not leave everybody else. Well, it leaves us with extra parking. So I'm gonna start this thing up. I'm gonna have a hot dog. Anybody wants to say anything, you go ahead. Appreciate you showing up, showing out. Creepy on the lot, right? Anyways, we don't want that. So probably just somebody running around back bringing food to us truck drivers, because we've done learned about DoorDash, Deal Dash, all this dash everything. So out through the snow I come bringing good words and tidings from the frozen lands of the north. Oh man, it's been rough, and you know, we got to keep trucking through it. So my whole thing is, you know, life caught up to me, and I've been working. I didn't even get waters. I got to go back in there and get waters. People, that's where I'm at right now. So I'm doing this because I felt the need, because I know people want to hear from me, because I got friends that are like, man, what, are you all right? And I know y'all feel the same way, and there's a little lack of connection when it comes to people that do YouTube and people that watch YouTube, that like, if somebody's gone for a hot minute, it makes you think maybe something happened to them, especially because I have a dangerous job because I drive a truck. Times are good. Everything's good. This guy here, he's not going to hit me. That's going to be good. All right. I had to script. I'm like, man, if he does. All right. So anyway, okay. Off to other things. we're fixing to be seeing some stuff with Ukraine. I can tell you I have a gift. You can think what you want about it. There's that. Yeah, we're fixing to be seeing some stuff over there. And then somebody blew up the bridge. I've been saying they needed to blow that bridge. Somebody actually was in a car bomb and blew up that bridge, right? The one that went from Russia to Crimea. The car section of it, but not the train section, so they can still get goods and services to Crimea from Russia, but somebody went with a car full of explosives and blew the bridge. That probably was a suicide mission. That shows that the people even in Russia don't agree with what's going on. That's what's up. Yeah, and their army's changing sides. It's like Red Rover. Red Rover, send the Red Army over. It's been that way. Like I said, it could be from the start, but now, they took over a town and even said that they were going to be a different group. It's kind of crazy. I wanted to mention this a while back. I'm aware of what happened to where they took over the bank of the Silicon area out there. Government did that. And then what was going on with TikTok. I'm going to tell you something about TikTok and all those other apps. Any app you have is designed with a back door and also designed with a front door and designed with side doors and designed to take your information, steal your information. I mean, if it's not bad enough that they take the information, they use it against you, which is probably how they started using that Havana syndrome weapon against people, because they had a list of people that work in the government. The worst part about TikTok and how it relates to people that work in the government is this. Okay, what they should have done is just said, we're not going to have a TikTok app anymore, and nobody gets it. Now, I would have been smart and say it's not allowed in the United States. It's against our people. They did not do that because people liked it. We don't want to make nobody not happy, right? This guy's confused. Anyways, we don't want to make nobody not happy, right? So in order to worry about the people who are not happy, they said, well, just government workers need to, by this date, not have TikTok. Well, whether you know it or not, people in the Chinese government have a whole floor devoted to spies. They got like 50,000 internet spies. The 50 Cent Army. They make comments and they try to stop you from doing your job and stress you and this and that. And then they get 50 cents for each interaction. They call them 50 Cent Army. They're on computers all day long. Well, these people who are basically running espionage and they are propagandists for China and cause stress and whatever in people in the United States. That's part of their 1,000-armed plan. And they got a 100-year and 1,000-year plan too. They plan to try to take us over by buying up land and everything in here. That's what's going on. Well, these people that do this, they also have people that are smart enough to add, like 1 and 2 is 2. And any medium, middle of the road as far as intelligence person can deduce quickly that if you wanted to find out who in the United States has TikTok, we're talking who works for the government versus transversely who is just a normal citizen. If you told them on a certain day to delete an app and you looked back at the data and saw who all deleted the app and looked at their email and found out who they were, then you would have a pretty good list of all the people that work in the freaking government. It was the stupidest thing ever. I didn't want to say it before this because they could have done it before this, but they can already do it after the fact and they already know. You see what I'm saying, people? You don't say, well, we're going to tell everybody in the government and military and everything else to delete TikTok off their phones by this date. Because then China basically has a playlist of all the people that happen to be, and then they find out where, and then they have Havana syndrome weapons, and then so does USSR, Russia, whatever you want to call them now. They're trying to get the band back together. So I don't know who's thinking, but somebody's not thinking. You get where I'm at? Okay. So they told them all delete the TikTok app by a certain day. If they work in the government, they're allowed to have it on their phones. Okay. That was stupid. They should have deleted the whole app, got rid of it. No, instead, now China has a list of all the people in the government. And they've already done it with emails. And they can corroborate the ones they already know have government jobs and work in intelligence and this and that. They can corroborate that information with the information from the list that they just got from everybody that deleted their freaking TikTok app. So it was not smart to tell. We should have just gotten rid of the app in the United States, period, and said it's against our country for you to be taking information on our citizens, and it steps over a line we don't even cross, and that's even the NSA. They cross. They don't have lines. I'm just saying, it's even something the NSA wouldn't do. Right? Is TikTok what they've been doing? Taking your data, find out who you are, all this stuff. They can corroborate it with your email, and so now they have that list because instead of saying no citizen should have TikTok, they said no, all the government people by a certain date should delete it. And this was a while back. I know I didn't want to talk about it at that time because then people would say, well, then you are telling the Chinese how to do it. Well, they already know how to do it. They've already done it. Now I'm talking about it after the fact for a reason. But I thought about it at the time, how stupid it was. And I've been busy. I've been working. I can't cover it all. Just like not everybody can cover this truck stop that caught on fire because the dude was smoking while he was fueling and burned up a whole truckload of Teslas, right? So, but is there an environmental impact to the Teslas? We ain't gonna talk about that. You know what I mean? I'm not gonna talk. I dig it. I think it's good they're making electric cars. I think they eventually will get so they can drive more than a couple 100 miles and won't have to charge. I think eventually they'll get smart enough to have drains on their concrete pads. So if there's rain and it's water out there, they're not standing in water and using high voltage electricity because that's stupid. And I think that eventually they'll come up with a Tesla that rides good because I rode in them in an Uber and they're horrible. They need some shocks because the batteries are too heavy. I would recommend Bilstein shocks and an air ride system. Elon, if you're listening, sorry about your cars. I don't know who did that to you. It wasn't me. I don't pull that. And then also, because of that Whole Food, and then also, come up with a better ride, the way it actually rides. Make it ride like a Cadillac. Those vehicles are expensive. So, not out of my budget, but out of my price range for sure. So, anyways, I figured I'd do a little live, a little catch up with you people. I'm still living and I'm still breathing. I got my struggles just like everybody else does, and I'm gonna get through them. In the meantime, I'm having some orange juice, a dog. I'm gonna see what's on chill on the radio because that's the one thing I can get onto right quick. Is this AM/FM? Anybody wants to make any comments? Beat me up. Tell me what you think. Tell me if you think that maybe it was okay that he was smoking on the fuel aisle. Well, you tell me. I don't think so. I think the proof is in the pudding. But to each his own. That is the result, though, and it wasn't a good result. So in the end, it's somehow it's scientific. I don't know what he was trying to do. Maybe he was looking in the fuel tank with his lighter to see how much fuel he had. I don't know. I don't really know what happened. I just know some of what happened. I figured I'd give it to you and let you know. That's the reason some of these fuel aisles are shut down at this place, or all of them at this place, and other places are catching on fire because of that Love's in Gary, Indiana still is. I don't think it's complete yet. I don't know. They got fuel. I don't know if they fixed the inside of the place yet. So that was from the Denny's catching on fire, and another Denny's caught on fire. Another one. I don't know what to say. I'm having hot dogs for that reason because all the restaurants are closing down anyways. Seems like they're closing down a lot of the country fries closed down at the TAs. They were never really the greatest business. Part of it was trying to get in and out. It's difficult with food. And when they're out of stuff, like if they don't have a steak and you just want a steak, If I can get the radio to work. See what we got. Come see. Oh, that's right. I lost chill. Well, so they cut off my XM subscription because I didn't have time to pay it. I've been running. No more chill. I'll get that again. It's a good little beat little thing, you know. Can't play this for that long or they will copyright strike the whole world. I'm not trying to get one on this one. I don't care about the rest of them. They don't bother me. But I'll tell you, I am looking to start another channel for a purpose. And I can't even talk about it right now. I can talk about it as soon as I can. It's going to be good, informative, helpful. And truthfully, I wish I could just get some of my friends, because I know they would too if I asked them and set it up, but I ain't had time, to call them and talk to them live like I've done before. Man, I'll tell you, there are people that are more knowledgeable about, man, everything than I am. I'm just a wrench turner. I'm just a mechanic. There's people that can tell you things, life in general. Man, people, if I could honestly, if I could put a link up to my friends on here, but I can't. Some of them have flip phones and ain't even on the internet except to watch what I put up, and then they do that from wherever. I mean, you know, people are aware of the surveillance state we live in. Me, I'm like you see, I don't show myself, but I put my ideas, my thoughts out there. I help people. It's hard for me not to, and the only way I knew how to train all these truckers was not to meet them at the fuel aisle and tell them there, because they come up and ask me questions there anyways. Hey, you're a driver, you know, they don't know who I am, they don't know what I know, but they ask the right person because I always help them. But then when you look at it further, might not want to be on the fuel aisle. They might be about to catch on fire. So for my safety, I put stuff up on YouTube, and also mainly, originally, because it's easier to teach 1,000 people all at the same time about a specific thing that I videoed. It's easier to do that than it is to individually, one at a time, teach them. So I'm fixing to get going. People, I hope you are having an awesome day. It's not snowing right now where I'm at. I hope it's not snowing right now where you are. Stay south, my friends. That's all I can say. I'm gonna get off this thing. Just a little check-in, let you know I'm good. And I didn't burn up on the fuel aisle, but somebody did. So don't be like that guy. Don't, you know, we'll call him Smokey. He lit up the fuel aisle over here. Only you can prevent fuel aisle fires. Okay, that's a public service message. Mainly, I would just say this: if you're going to smoke, put your cigarette down, then go fuel, do your thing. God bless you, people. I'm gonna get out of here. Okay? No, really, I have to go. Y'all can't. I have to go. You can't keep me, people. I have to go. Okay. So, God bless you. I'm out. Peace.